The elevator doors parted with a soft chime, and Ava stepped out onto the top floor of the luxurious Glass Tower residences, dressed in dark blue jeans, a plain white tee, and a lightweight trench coat. Her natural curls were pulled back into a low bun, and her only accessory was a brown leather tote bag slung over her shoulder. Her face was calm, but her eyes sharp. She was finally back in the city after 3 months of silent travel and remote restructuring of her empire. No calls. No interviews. No press. She wanted to arrive unnoticed, as always. But the moment her boots clicked on the marble floors, the atmosphere changed. A stocky security guard with a buzz cut and overly polished shoes stepped forward, blocking her path. "Excuse me, he barked with authority. "This floor is off-limits. VIP residents only." Before Ava could utter a word, the penthouse floor manager, Kenneth, tall, slick-haired, smug, appeared from around the corner, adjusting his cufflinks as he walked. "Everything all right, Brian?" Kenneth asked, his tone already laced with condescension. "She claims she's heading to one of the penthouses. Doesn't have a pass." "No visible ID," Brian replied, keeping his hand on his belt. Kenneth looked her over once, smirked, then scoffed. "You're clearly lost, sweetheart," he said, like she was a toddler who'd wandered off. "Let's help you back to the lobby." Ava blinked once, calm but alert. "I'm heading to Penthouse A. I'd like to pass." Kenneth chuckled, as if she'd told a joke. "I don't think so. Penthouse A belongs to the owner of the Glass Tower Group. And unless you're her assistant with a very elaborate fantasy, there's no way you're supposed to be here." "I'm Ava. Ava Monroe," she said plainly. "Owner, sir, of this tower, and 12 others under Glass Tower Holdings." Kenneth paused, laughed, looked at Brian, then back at her. "Lady," he said, voice rising. "I've met the CEO. I've seen her portrait in the boardroom. You're not her. You're just some chick from off the street with a story and attitude." Brian stepped closer. "You need to leave before we call building security and report you for trespassing." Before we continue, if you are watching our video for the first time, you're highly welcome to ELLIOT Stories. Please bless and support us by hitting that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell to get notified for more edifying stories coming your way tomorrow and never to miss any. Share to friends who love stories filled with twists and morals, and loved ones who cherish respect and justice no matter the cost. Where are you watching from? Please tell us in the comments. We love seeing how far our stories travel. We also want to deeply appreciate our unique constant viewers, our highly esteemed subscribers, our lovely new viewers, and our first-time subscribers for being part of our growth. Ava folded her arms. Her voice didn't waver. "Give me 5 minutes in my suite. If I'm lying, arrest me." Kenneth crossed his arms too. "You're not stepping into that penthouse. I don't care if you think you're Beyoncé. You're not walking past me. Not today." The other guards joined. They boxed her in, speaking into their radios. One of them smirked, another whispered something about her being a crazy wannabe. The hallway echoed with tension and arrogance. Ava stayed still, calm, until she slowly reached into her tote and pulled out her phone. "I wasn't going to do this," she muttered, unlocking it with her fingerprint. She dialed. "Victor, I need 5 of my executives in the Glass Tower lobby in the next 3 minutes. Send IT to patch the security feed from my suite to the lobby screen. And get HR ready to process mass terminations." She hung up, looked up at Kenneth, and gave the faintest smile. "I told you to let me in." Kenneth waved her off, laughing. "You've got guts, I'll give you that. But a call won't save you." Moments later, the elevator chimed again. 5 sharply dressed individuals stepped out, 3 men, 2 women, each carrying briefcases and ID tags branded with the signature Glass Tower G logo. "Ms. Monroe," one of them greeted respectfully. "Your request has been fulfilled. Live security footage from Penthouse A is now on every lobby screen. Confirming biometric entry. System logs show last owner access was made by." He turned the screen toward Kenneth. "Ava Monroe. Sir. Fingerprint match. Retinal scan confirmed." Kenneth's smirk vanished. Behind him, Brian's mouth parted. "Wait, I'm your boss," Ava said flatly. "The one who pays your salaries. The one whose portrait you dismissed. It was taken 6 years ago, before I took my hair natural and stopped wearing makeup for corporate photo ops." Kenneth began stammering. I didn't mean, you were dressed like a..." "Like what?" Ava snapped, voice now sharp and cold. Like someone unworthy of respect. Like someone who doesn't belong in a penthouse unless they have expensive shoes or a designer bag. Do you treat every woman this way, or just every black one? Brian quickly lowered his head. Ava turned to her team. Fire him. Which one? Her assistant asked. All of them. Kenneth panicked. Ms. Monroe, please. I made a mistake, okay? I didn't know. That's the problem. You didn't care to know. You judged me in less than 5 seconds. Laughed in my face. Ordered me to leave my own home. If I were a man in a 3-piece suit, would this have happened? She turned to Brian. You called me like a warning. Told me this was a VIP-only floor, like I didn't belong. No, You were louder than necessary. More aggressive than needed. If I were someone else, this could have gone viral, turned deadly. But here I am, alive, humiliated, but very much in charge. Kenneth's phone buzzed. Then Brian's. Then the other guards. Each looked down to see the same email. Effective immediately, termination notice for misconduct and violation of Glass Tower anti-discrimination policies. The silence was heavy. Ava walked past them, swiped her finger on the biometric pad, and watched the doors to her penthouse swing open. She paused once more. This building houses hundreds of guests from different cultures, backgrounds, and stories. None of them should ever feel what I just felt. Make sure your replacements understand that. And with that, she entered her penthouse, the doors closing silently behind her. 5 months earlier, Ava Monroe had sat alone in her London flat, watching security footage of another executive being treated like a trespasser in their own facility, because they looked out of place. It had ignited something in her. She decided to step away. Watch from afar. Test her people. See if the culture she spent 10 years building was still alive. Clearly, it wasn't. Back in the tower's lobby, Kenneth was sobbing into his phone, trying to call someone, anyone, to fix the damage. But the Glass Tower board had already been informed. And HR wasn't taking appeals. Later that evening, social media exploded. Black CEO denied entry to her own penthouse, fires entire staff in minutes. The footage, though not posted by Ava, had somehow leaked. Not the humiliating words. Just the redemption. The justice. People praised her calm, her strength, her refusal to lose control or beg for validation. Others in the building came forward, telling stories of being looked down on by Kenneth and his team. Tenants rallied in support. Investors called with congratulations. Her shares rose. But Ava didn't smile for the cameras. She sat quietly in her penthouse window, watching the lights of the city, sipping tea. Because respect shouldn't require a power card. Or a press release. It should be default. Human. Moral lessons from this story. Judging someone by their appearance is not only wrong, it's dangerous. You never know who someone is, or what they've overcome to stand where they are. True leaders don't need to raise their voices to command respect. They lead through action, integrity, and dignity. Discrimination comes in subtle forms, often masked by arrogance or assumptions. Those moments expose who we truly are. Respect is not a reward, it is a right. Regardless of appearance, accent, race, or role, every human being deserves dignity. Power used to restore justice is the most honorable kind. This story was humbly crafted and brought to you by ELLIOT Stories. Catch you on the next one. ELLIOT Stories appreciates you all.